I took advantage and stepped in, and
Right.
I told him. He said, "Oh, I'll shoot you some pictures, and y'all can go over and stuff." And I'm thinking, I don't need help finding pictures that I can go over, But
There was enough.
Yeah, more on that here in a few minutes.
but
There was enough
y'all had
out there.
y'all had been talking about this. What is it? An ing or a zing or a ning or a ninning or something.
Okay, somebody in chat, what is it?
Ningen. 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 Nigan. Neg. What are we doing? Daggum. Walking Dead. It isn't Negan. It's Ningen. Just like it's spelled.Ningen. Ningen.
They actually it was let's see, Brandon, I think it was, said he's ready for some drum roll, please. What did he say?
I don't even know how to pronounce it. Ningens,
Yeah. I'm going with Ning.
Nings.
Ning. But it's some kind of critter that Nick dadgummit. Ninjins. Ninjas. Ninjins.
How are we supposed to
Ninjins.
discuss something we can't even pronounce?
Yeah.
It's okay. It's okay.
But,
It's what we do on the porch. We just plow through.
right? But this critter is he dug up a picture of this thing.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It is so, and I've heard y'all talk about this too, and we talked about it over on the porch. It is so hard to judge anything with just a picture anymore, because you
have no information.
Reliable. Okay, it's Ning, then Jin like gun.
Ninjin.
Ningen. I like Ning.
Critters.
Again. Ningen. Okay, enough with the Ningen. Now we just get on to the picture next.
Critters.
Yeah, one of them critters. One of them famous front porch critters. There we go. But like I said,
Hey, Joey Hayes says, Tex and Brady, could you do a Zodiac show one time?
Well, if you can talk Brandy into coming over with me and Danielle on Infamous Minds, yes.
Yeah. We'll do it. We'll do it one of these weekends. Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. I'm all about it.
All right. We're this week we're not doing about the Infamous Minds. It's not about any one person or anything like that. We're going to discuss something that's very important to us, and it's more of we're just getting information out there for everybody. but it's about the circle of violence and how to break it and how to survive it and where you can get help.
Well, I think that's important. I mean,
I do
you
too.
sit here and you talk about it all the time, but how do you break the cycle? How do you get away from it? That's what you need to know.
Yeah.
Yes,
So that's
Joey,
what.
I will do it. Joey, I will do it. He says, please. I said yes.
There you go. There you go.
Still feeling a little under the weather, but I'm doing better. So,
Well, that's good since I never knew you were sick.
yeah, that'll
Nobody
teach you watch
tells me
watch
anything.
the blondes every once in a while. You might figure it out. Anyway,
It's y'all's fault because y'all should keep me informed. But
right.
and
Well, we
you're
know you've
right
been
though.
dealing with
I
work and
should
everything,
too.
and that's stressful enough. I mean, just me being sick, I'll get over it. But we
But I
have
gotta.
we have a good shot. Randy did send a good one. I
A
don't
couple
know
of
really
things.
what to think of this one.
I don't either. I mean, hell, let's bring it up.
Yeah, let's look at it.
Yeah. Meow, meow, meow,
Mm.
meow, meow. You gonna find the damn button. Meow. That, ladies and gentlemen, is a ning ning or a ning gun or whatever it is.
A critter.
A critter. And
Yep. Nope. Wrong picture.
you know what? I'm gonna try to do this a little different here because I'm not happy with the way that looks. So y'all look at that and bear with me for a little bit. Well, don't quit talking.
Well, I'm looking at you flashed it at me, and then this is that. I'm really looking at it, and I'm trying to figure out, is that wings behind it?
That's kind of what I was looking at. It's like almost like a fairy top thing.
Well, yeah, and it almost looks like it has a tail coming off.
Uh-huh.
And I'm not sure, something in its head or in the horns looks like it's reflective. So that's throwing me off just a hair because being black and white, you can see that a type of flash was used, um, or some type of night vision. I'm not sure, but something that was a light source. So I don't really know how. I That's really just throwing me off there.
Okay, it's throwing everybody off because it's number one, it's not a Ningen. Number two, I will talk more about it as we get further down the line here because there's another spot that I'll call into question or I'll bring up that would have easily fixed all of this. But let's continue on watching and see how Tex has fun with the pictures. All right, guys. Quite obviously, this was not a Ningen, like I said before, but as they bring up this view right here, it actually has the actual name of the file right here, of which what's in that file is Mothman. This is a supposed picture of a Mothman. And I don't know how it got changed around or what, but this was supposed to be another view of a Mothman to look at. Take it with a grain of salt, whatever. That's what it should have been. It should have never been a Ningen. So now I'm gonna go back and watch Tex play around some more with the pictures and see what we got. We're still getting to the good part later on when we start talking about another picture.
You see that? Is that better?
Yeah, that's better for me. How about everybody else? Is that good? While everybody's studying that picture, I just want to let everybody know this is our last show that'll be streaming to Texas Front Porch. So next week you'll have to go straight to Truth or Tinfoil to watch the show. So make sure you hit the like, subscribe, and notification button.
Whoops, I did a video that said we were doing it on the 7th instead of the 31st, but I guess we're going to go ahead and go with the 31st. So I will change that soon this week, hopefully. Thanks.
Let's see what everybody's saying here.
Well, Moon at Noon says, Tex, you got your tinfoil cowboy hat. Brandon says it looks like a stinger. And yeah, it does. It does to me too. Kind of like a stingray stinger, except I can't see any barbs on the end of it or anything.
The dude says, you all see Bigfoot. You tell him the dude wants his watch back. He took it from me when I was sleeping and then disappeared. Sup, dude? Oh, and here comes Duke, of course. Ningen ISU is a Japanese metal trio. It's supposed to be an aquatic cryptid.
Yes, everybody. It's supposed to be an aquatic cryptid. This is a picture that was taken from Google Earth, looks like. It was handed over to me by somebody else at another time. And here's another one. We're going to be going through these, and we're going to be looking at them again later on. But this is what a ningen would look like in a later form. So all I can tell you is that's what a ningen should about look like when in full form.
See, this doesn't look aquatic to me.
No, it doesn't to me either. It resembles more of a Wendigo looking creature than it does anything aquatic.
To me, it looks like a damn butterfly costume with the antennas and everything.
I mean, could it be part of the Fae family? Because you know how some of them are pretty dang ugly.
Well, hell, I think everything's part of the Fae family nowadays. I don't know.
Yeah. True. Or I'm just throwing this out there. It's a possibility. Who knows? Because we have nothing on this picture. Pukwudgie.
Yeah. See, I'm with Gary Spike Sr. It looks like a bug.
It does to me too. It's an awfully big bug.
Ningen. No.
Somebody said Mothman. Looks like a Mothman.
Yep. It's in the title. Mothman. That's what it's supposed to be. A Mothman.
Man.
Let's see. Yeah, see, that looks nothing like the pictures that I'm bringing up. What is Randy trying to do to us?
I don't know. Maybe he had another picture and didn't give it to us or something.
Ladies and gentlemen, come on now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 files, all emailed to both participants. And I'm setting somebody up, I guess. I don't know how. They're all labeled and they all have the right names with them. So I don't know. I didn't set nobody up. It's pretty simple to me.
Because honestly, the pictures I'm seeing, you know what? I'm going to do this. Hang on. Here's a pretty cool one. Oh my gosh.
I don't know, Tex. Zoom that picture back out just a hair. And so we can see basically the angle from where it was taken. See, it doesn't look that tall, does it?
No, it looks maybe man size. Maybe.
Maybe.
But I'm not
If
getting
not,
that. I don't now, I mean, you look at a picture and you kind of get a feel of what you're looking at kind
right.
of thing, first glance. And I'm thinking this thing ain't but about 4 or 5 feet tall.
I mean,
But
could we be looking at a pukwudgie?
well, we could be looking at just about anything.
I know. I don't see anything where it screams at me that this is real. It kind of looks like
Looks like a costume.
type. It does look like a costume to me. And if you'll zoom back up on that image again, let's try to tear apart, see if we can see a costume.
All right. Well, hang on a second. Hang
Okay.
on a second. I'm trying to bring us up an image of what we're really supposed to be looking at here.
Remember a while ago when he said he could find the pictures and get them done okay? Yeah, let's keep an eye on that one.
Here. Why is it so hard to get an image to come up when you Google it? I don't understand this. I just want to look at the freaking image. Why are you being so difficult?
I see now that everything I do is really taken for granted.
It's what it does. It's what it does. You're right, Laura. It's posing, looking straight at the camera. You're
Okay.
right.
Okay, let's do this here. I'm going to take this down. I'm going to bring this up. Now, this is supposed to be the stages of the Jing Jing or whatever the hell it is.
Ningen.
Yeah.
Hey,
So,
Jason.
From
That looks nothing like it.
no, absolutely nothing like what we're looking at.
Plus, it's in the middle of the woods, so I'm going to say it's a no to that. I somebody mislabeled that or just picked a name and put it to.
Yeah. But, and
I don't know what to say anymore. Not an Ingen, Mothman. Not an Ingen, Mothman. Not an Ingen, Mothman. But there will be other pictures when we go back to the Ningen later on. We do those other shots that I showed you guys. There, I do have other pictures that are supposed of the adolescent, which is when you looks like the snowball walking. Well, yeah, that's exactly what it's going to look like when we go through it again. So, but I've got some pictures of that as well.
Yeah.
So,
but, and there's other images of this thing, and it looks like a misidentified dolphin or whale to me. Well, that's what.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But this is supposed to be the stages of it. Looks like a damn tapeworm down here.
Right.
And then this thing, I mean, does it lose its arms during it? Is it like a frog when it gets a tadpole, it loses its tail and all that kind of stuff? And now it's got, and over here it's got arms and no legs, and it forms a tail. So
I don't know. This particular thing is unknown to me.
Yeah,
I know
mean,
nothing
I've
about
heard
it.
about it. And Brother Hex says they say it's a beluga whale. I see that's what I got when I looked at it. I'm like, yeah, it's
I would,
that's what it
yeah,
looks like to me. All the other images, if you Google this thing and you look under images, a lot of the images look like a beluga whale. So, I think it's. But there's also images of it supposedly in this two-legged thing with no arms and everything, walking
yeah.
on icebergs. It seems to be a cold water creature. Um, I'm not buying it. I was. Thank you, Jamie.
Thank
I'm
you,
not. I'm
Jamie.
not. I'm.
Yeah. Well, so this is really what we're not looking at. We're looking at something else. Like I said, I'm leaning towards just basically a puckwudgie on it, and I'm still thinking that it's not real.
I don't
I
think
think it's a costume. If you'll flick that picture back up for us, Tex, and let us look at it one more time, and we're gonna make our final decision on it. Because I really
well,
want to look up close at it to see if it is a costume or if I can tell, or, because it always has those signs of like ripples in the fabric, or, things that just don't
right,
look
right.
normal, like skin.
But
Of
I
course,
mean, now this.
when we're looking at these things, what's normal anyway?
I mean, this is the picture that Randy sent us, so don't blame us. Don't shoot the messenger. Um, I'm going to blame everything on Randy because I can.
Yeah, let's just bring it up close one more time and try to look at it.
I'm going to get it way up close here. It gets all pixelated. See, I I don't know. This is screaming costume to me.
It is. It is.
Honestly, it looks like somebody dressed in a ghillie suit that's trying to with a butterfly head on. I don't know.
I don't know, but you know what? I'm going to give it the tinfoil because this is what I believe right here. I think that this thing is a costume. It's it isn't any creature that I've ever seen. It looks like a costume. It's super shiny. It's
Yeah.
something on its horns is reflective. I'm going to say tinfoil.
Mm-hmm. I'm with you.
Everybody
Why
else, you got
not?
something? Moon at noon says tinfoil. Uh, to me that just screams like costume.
Yeah. 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 See, Brandon says, I have looked for the Ningans for like 20 years and I've never heard of a forest one. Yeah. I'm not. Please slap Randy in the last week. Yeah. I'm not. Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm not buying this one. Just not now.
Okay, we're just gonna call that tinfoil.
Yeah.
Are we
You got that one right. All day long, boys. All day long.
are we gonna go ahead with that clip, the next clip? Because if we are, this is the famous Freeman
Footage.
clip. Yep, and we have taken it off of YouTube, or not YouTube, TikTok. So we're gonna go ahead and play it for you because they're they got a lot of things to say about this video in particular.
Yeah. So this is the famous Freeman footage that everybody's talked about.
Right.
And everybody, and it's supposed to be legit, you know. I've seen these things walk and run. So
Can't see much up through here. I hear the brush popping and stuff. Oh, there he goes. Jesus. Get up here where I can see him real quick. Get up here. Get a better picture.
Now, I'm just going to start with the guy filming. He's scared. There's no doubt about this guy's scared. And he says, I'm going to get up here so I can get a better look. But you only notice he takes about a step or two.
Huh.
He is not going super close. And that tells me right there, there's something to this. Because if it weren't real, they'd be trying to walk straight up on it. You know what I mean? If this were fake, and that's what a lot of people do, is they try, oh yeah, we're going to walk right up on this thing. This guy said, I'm going to get up here to get a better look. And he walks like 1 or 2 steps. That's it. You know, that's my first sign that says, you know, hey, whatever this is, real or not, this guy is scared. This guy is scared.
Well,
What do you think, Tex?
I have mixed feelings about it. If I'm completely and brutally honest, I have mixed feelings about it. I got to watch it again.
Okay, let's watch it again.
Can't see much up through here. I hear the brush popping and stuff. Oh, there he goes. Jesus. Get up here where I can see him real quick. Get up here. Get a better picture.
See, I don't think the guy's scared at all. I think he's excited.
Well, yeah, that could be too, but he wasn't walking up close, was he?
Well, no.
No, he wasn't. And if you notice, another thing that kind of was off to me of how loud he was actually talking.
Yeah.
You know, to me, I would bring it down to a whisper, you know, or something, not to disturb, you know, the Bigfoot. I would just, you know, bring it down to a whisper so I can describe what's going on.
I don't think he's scared. I think he's excited. He does sound like he's kind of huffing and puffing. It could be from excitement. It could be from
Fear.
Walking. Could be from fear. But I wasn't scared when I saw mine. You know? And this guy, this is not his first rodeo. He's a very well known and researcher. He's been researching for years and years and years before he saw this. And before he got this on film, let me put this may not have been the first one he's seen.
True, possibly.
So, and we know he's seen evidence and footprints, and he knew they were around. He believed in them. So,
yeah. He is a
Probably not
researcher.
the
Yes.
first encounter he's had, so he's probably not. I don't think he's scared. I think he's excited. Maybe he was, trying to traverse the terrain. He's maybe not in the best shape. I
Possibly.
know
Well,
how
this
that
back in
goes.
1994. I'm going to
Yeah,
say he was in
yeah.
decent shape in 94.
So
Okay, for a little context on Paul Freeman, anybody can look this up on the Wikipedia pages for him. He died in April of 2003. The man died at age 59 from complications of diabetes. He was not a small man from the pictures I've been able to see of him, so most likely he was winded just out walking for the most part. But you could definitely hear the excitement in his voice when he saw it. So um, I have to say I'm kind of with Tex on it. I think he believes it's real for sure, but I think the man at less than 10 years before his death, so he's 49, 50 years old at this point. But he's been in those mountains his entire life. That was around the Blue Ridge, not Blue Ridge. I take that back. It was around the Blue Mountains region, of northeastern Oregon. So he knew the terrain. He knew everything. So Mr. Freeman probably was not in the greatest of health at that point. He was probably already feeling the effects of diabetes, and he probably had a little bit of weight on him. So yeah, he was winded.
so it's. I'll say this: if it's a hoax, it's a damn good one.
I think
Okay.
so.
Because the walk, the gait. If you'll notice, he's the creature is negotiating the terrain. Okay,
Yes.
but look at how smooth he's walking. Even stepping over stuff and negotiating terrain, he's not bobbing up and down. Right.
No.
He did
No.
turn his head and look. He did turn his head and look at Mr. Freeman. So, um, it's I'm I think it's the real deal. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with the general population, the popular vote here, and I think it's real. You know,
Well, for me, I guess watching the video, for me, it was the length of the gait. As you've
yeah,
seen it walk, it was taking tremendous strides
right.
and it was getting through the terrain very easily. And I think that if you're in a suit, that's going to be a little bit harder to navigate.
Right, and that's part of it. If you're in a full suit like that, and brother, heck, I have to disagree with you because I've seen these things. They are very nonchalant. They don't get spooked. They don't panic. Um,
They're at the top
and
of the food chain. Why would they? Why would they?
even when they get seen, that they may move with a little bit of quickness, but they don't freak out. They don't panic. They're very um, um, focused in what they're doing. It's like the first one that I saw, stood up out of a wheat field, looked around, broad daylight, and just took off running. Not at a panic run, just he had someplace to be before we did. Before he wanted to
Right.
get there before we got there. That's how
Right.
that's what I got from it.
Right.
But even at a full run, the head wasn't bobbing up and down. Like I said, I've always said they move like a dancer, just like the one me and you saw.
Right. Right. Well,
He
you got to
would
think about this too. Is this Mr. Freeman's research area? Does he go out there a lot?
Yeah.
I mean,
Right.
if this Bigfoot and the others in its little family unit there, if they're used to him, they're just kind of going to go. He's not going to do nothing. Just keep walking, go about
Yeah.
your business. They're harmless. And I mean, that could have played a role in that. Duke was saying that he was out there before searching for prints and other evidence and things like that. So they may be entirely used to him.
Right. I think the look that, because it turns around, it looks at him. And if you think about it, the Patty footage, that one did too.
Yeah.
Kind of turned his head and looked, didn't turn his head because they kind of turned their shoulders and everything. But to me, it's not that's the state of their panic. I mean, that's like,
it's like they turn around to size you up and then like, all right, and just keep moving.
To me, it's more of a shit.
Dang it.
Dadgummit.
It's like, why you gotta bother me? Why you gotta bother me?
Yeah.
Why are you in my house? Why are you in my house?
Exactly. Dadgummit, get out of my head. It's like, okay.
Here's like seeing a mouse, it's just like, God.
Well, here's one for you. Here's a comparison. It's like your mom walking in on you.
There you go. Like, dang it. But I think that it didn't look like a costume to me. It didn't move like it was wearing a costume. It had a notable gait like I have seen with my own eyes. If it's a hoax, it's a good one.
Yep.
But I don't think it is. I don't think it is.
I don't either. I think it's when I first saw it, like I said, I was on kind of on the fence, and then as I watch it more and I think about it, and I really listen to the guy's voice, I watch how the creature's reacting and everything. I see a lot of my own encounters in it. So right. And that's what I have to gauge it on. Not everybody, when they see these things, not everybody panics. You didn't really panic when you saw yours.
Either time, honestly.
Yeah, you just, you were in awe the first time.
Yes, I was. Like jaw dropping.
Yeah.
Like,
holy crap, I'm actually seeing what I'm seeing. I can't believe this happened.
Right.
The second time, I think you were like, and you said it before, I'm gonna crawl in my own hole and disappear so this thing doesn't come and get me. You were scared. You were scared, but you weren't panic scared.
No, it did have my heart racing. It definitely did, because just the sheer size of it scared me. It's like when a bear comes up next to your car, it kind of scares you a little bit because a bear can get in your car, but this thing was bigger. Right, and I know that if it wanted to, it could take me out. So I'm just like, I am just going to lay back here, cover up my head like it was, and because this was close. The second one was close. Yeah. You're talking 20 feet.
Right.
So for me, I mean, it wasn't acting aggressive, but then again, on when we saw the first one, we got a bluff charge. So that scared me. That right there scared me.
Right. Well, it's meant to.
Right. And it did.
But there, and see, and Duke's going to disagree with me, but Henry says, so Brandy, do you carry? She always carried before. She carries all the time. So that's why we call her Laura Croft, because she got out of the truck and was walking up there. She had no shit, yoga pants, hiking boots, and a tactical thigh holster on, and her in her ponytail. And I'm like, oh my God, she looks like freaking Laura Croft. But
Yeah,
But
and we got to talk about this too. That my leggings had the zippers, with the pockets in them and
uh-huh,
everything. So I had my pocket stuff.
yeah,
It's only because I know what's out there. I know what's out there. I
yeah.
mean, and sometimes it's not cryptids that scare me the most.
It's not that ever scares me, really.
Right.
I
Right.
mean, I wouldn't be going out there sleeping by myself if I was scared of these things. You know?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we know there's
Mm-hmm.
other people that once it gets dark, they skedaddle, but hey, I'm not that person. But
Heck no, me and you charge up there. Ta-da!
no, we're not that smart. But
No, we're not. We're not.
no, we're really not.
Just like last weekend, I got back from the Land Between the Lakes. Yeah, same difference.
Mhm.
Charged up there at nighttime. Ta-da!
And brother, heck, you're right. I'm more scared of, and that's not really, and I think we're using the wrong word here. Scared, really.
Mm.
I'm more concerned about humans running into more humans in the woods than I am any critters.
And
Yeah,
Gary
hogs
said
and
hogs.
tweakers. Pops, you said it right. There you go. He nailed it. Hogs and tweakers. That's what I'm concerned about.
Unfortunately,
Hogs and tweakers.
that's the world we live in today, and it's just it's horrible. It's horrible. Because they're being shunned away from the towns and things like that, so they have nowhere to go. So then they start living remotely out there, and it's just a sad way to live. That's all I can say about that.
Yeah.
But getting back to that film, though, I mean, I don't know about anybody else. I'm going to say it's real. I'm gonna say it's real.
Yeah, I'm going to go with real. I don't think I don't think it's any stretch of the imagination or any stretch of the. I don't think we're going out on a limb here saying that's real. I really don't.
Yeah.
One in 1994, I don't see just some Joe Schmo creating a costume that good.
No, no. And I don't see somebody walking in that as
Uh-uh.
well as
No,
that did.
no,
And it was large.
it was. It was. You could tell it was. It was, and it not just not. And it's not the height. It was the size of it.
Yeah, yeah. And like I said, that gate was extremely long if you watched it,
Right.
especially that last step before he pans away from him. That last step was super long.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say that's real.
Yeah. I'm the same way.
I'm gonna have to go back and watch that. I'll probably watch it 100 times. So stop it, slow it down, tear it apart. That's what I'll do. That's the cool thing about the show is we're just slapping things on here and see what we see. We're not doing this ahead of time, so you get to do it with us. That's the cool part.
Right. I want to see if I
What
can.
else you got, Tex? We got something else?
Well, I'm going to try to get this picture up here that I've been fighting with before we got on air. I don't know why it's giving me such problems. But I may have to do it this way. Y'all give me a few minutes, but a few seconds anyway.
Well, here we go again with a photo. I offered to send stuff. I sent stuff, but it wasn't good enough.
Anyway,
I'm blown away by it, actually.
I don't think that there's going to be very many films that are that probably any better than that I will call real. I'll put it that way.
Right. Yeah,
Because
computer enhancement in 1994, it was very limited.
Yeah.
Very limited. And unless you had buku bucks to have that kind of setup in your home, or have a, you know, an office or something that you could put it all in. They just didn't have that in 1994. That was cheap. I mean,
Right.
now
Well,
we know that you can get an app and do it.
yeah, I ain't no lie. The best thing out there, was like,
Thank you, Brother Heck.
was, what did I miss? Oh, new member. Awesome. Thank you. The best thing out there, as far as I'm concerned, was probably at that time Jurassic Park, as far as
Yeah, but
CGI goes.
think about how much money they put into that.
Exactly.
It was
Exactly.
astronomical for the time.
Yeah, no doubt.
So, like I said,
that's the point. You know,
mhm.
this guy wasn't gonna, you know,
Yeah, he was carrying around his phone or something, handheld, which could have been a digital camera. I think they were coming out at that time, but it was an awfully good picture for a phone. So I would have to say that that was a camera, or a
yeah,
video camera that he had.
yeah. I just don't think that I just don't think it
Oh,
was.
Joey Hayes asked, he says, Brandy, where can we get the Texas hats? Looking like a rock star. Okay. Bucky's. Bucky's in Texas has these hats. I liked them so much I got two. I love them. They're soft, they're comfortable, they don't give you a headache. Honestly, they're an all-around cool hat. Easy to wear all day. Because some hats, they give you a headache, they're too tight or too stiff, or just all around irritating. But these are good hats. It's like a good cowboy hat. When you got it broke in and it feels good.
Yeah, something you can wear on a daily.
Yeah, and I do. I wear these a lot. See, I have my other one right here. So, and until they come out with new ones at Bucky's, I'm going to deal with the two I have.
Well, all right. I got one more picture that y'all need to look at.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Because this one is very controversial. Very controversial.
As he's trying to find the button.
Uh-huh. Well, not right now. I'm uploading, downloading, and everything else because I couldn't get it to work any other way.
Well, yeah, it happens that way sometimes. Randy and I still have a problem. It's like 1 minute one will just zip up and it'll be great, and then the next one will take forever to do its thing.
Yeah, because we got about 15 minutes, and I think this will absolutely fill that 15 minutes for sure. All right, so I finally got this. Finally.
Okay, guys. I'll have my own views on this photo toward the end of the show, but come on, 5 minutes from the time you say you're going to pull up a photo till the time you get it actually into the stream. Everything I do is taken for granted. I know it is.
Now I know this sucks, okay, but the picture, if you can find it, if you just look for Bigfoot standing in a stream, Google, is what comes up. This has been said to be real. It is said to been fake. And if it's fake, that is the best, hands down, the best costume I've ever seen. Okay. And this has been around for years. This was supposedly taken out of it was either Mount St. Helens or I'm gonna get chewed up for this one. Mount St. Helens or what was that other one? I always go blank on this. But anyway, and it was supposedly taken in the 70s and there was a series of pictures. You could only find a couple. See, it's a model. Four Corners Group debunked it years ago. And I've heard I've really heard this, that this was fake, and that was been debunked by several people, which is unfortunate.
Well, first of all, look at how close they're down on it. And by the exposure, this is a picture taken, of course, a long time ago.
But see, I took this with my phone on the computer screen, like this, click and then load it, because I couldn't get it to work the other way. So that's the reason the picture looks like crap. The picture is the pictures that you see when you bring it up are very, very, very clear. The clearest pictures out there, so it is a very old picture, but it doesn't look like a very old picture when you really look it up.
So does the original look like staged, perhaps? Because, like I said, this is a very close picture.
Let me look at this.
And then if it's a statue or something, that's an odd place to have it. Because it looks like they're standing on top and taking a full picture from an elevated angle on this thing. I don't know. I mean,
yeah, supposedly it is. Most experts claim this Bigfoot photo is actually just a small model posing in a lake in 1995.
See, that's what I said. It's an odd place to put one in a lake. But I'm guessing, I mean, if we're talking about this, then, the matted fur seems legit. If it's in a watery area, muddy area, that's legit. Sounds about right.
Well, they went to a very, very they went out of their way to make it look legit. I'll tell you that. And if that's a model, I want to see the model. If it's been debunked as a model, show me the model. That's all I'm saying. you know, and why are we so quick to dismiss a good picture? That's really that is the reason I wanted to bring this picture up, because it is controversial. There's a lot of people, and we saw it pop up. I mean, Duke and you know, everybody was like, "Oh, it's fake. It's been debunked." Blah blah blah. I want to talk to somebody that actually debunked it and show me why they debunked it. We can all say, "Oh, well, these guys debunked it." Tell them, you know, let me talk to these guys. And if it's a model, who made the model? And I want to see the model.
Right. Because there's nothing on the internet about the model or anything like that. So if it has been debunked, I mean, of course, they're going to put out there somewhere where this thing was made. You know, they're going to have something. Yeah, to me, what gets me is the fur, because it looks just about right for the area that it's in, and matted, and it looks a little wet, and I mean, it looks right for the area.
Yeah, it's like I said. And okay, I'll give y'all. It's okay. Spake. It's a very good one. A very good one.
Mm-hmm.
Randy isn't here. We're past the 50-minute mark.
Oh, we don't care on this show. We're done by 58. That's when we're done. Yeah, this one doesn't need the 52. We only go to 58. We're done. But I think that we like to dismiss a lot, especially when, like, if I were to take a picture of something and I know darn well that it was real, I was standing right there, and then somebody's over here, "Oh, that's fake." How do you know? How do you really know? You weren't there. You didn't take the picture. You know, you have no idea what's happening. And just because somebody else says it's a fake doesn't mean it's a fake.
Right. Right.
So,
why is it just, and I'm not just talking about this picture, but why is some of the best evidence out there, supposed evidence, I mean, alleged evidence out there, automatically, oh, it's fake?
oh, well, yeah, you know, well, people are calling the Patterson Gimlin film fake too.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like, what? Hello? That is the most famous evidence there is. You can't just, you know, but that Freeman, that Freeman film now, that's,
Yeah. Well, you know,
that's pretty dang close.
If this is a model of that every filmmaker that's going to make a Bigfoot costume needs to look at.
Right.
Saying, because that, you know.
Well, we have to go back. We have to go back to the way I described my second encounter. And I was talking about that the chest in this thing was so wide. I mean, wide. And when you get comparison to a head, and then that wide chest, that head's going to look weird. I'm sorry. It's going to look too small for the body. It always is. Most bodybuilders, if you look at them, their heads are usually kind of small, you know, once they bulk up. You know, I mean, to me, that's the first thing I notice is their head doesn't look right. Looks disproportionate on a lot of them. Not all of them, on a lot of them. But I mean, to me, I could see that, especially if it's male and it's out there, you know, foraging for the family and pulling down trees and, you know, really working hard. Of course, it's going to bulk up. It's going to look like that. So I guess to me, I mean, I wouldn't call it fake. I wouldn't call it fake. Like I said, there's too many things that look like it should be there in that particular area. Like I said, beginning with the fur and all that, it just looks like it should be there. Now, like I said, whoever made that, if it was made,
Kudos.
my hats off to you. I
Yeah,
applaud you because that's
kudos.
pretty good.
I
That's pretty
agree.
darn good.
I agree.
Mhm.
And it's one of those things where I would love to find out if it was actually the real deal, because it is so looks so good, you know.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
it's the story that I got was that it was supposedly taken in the 70s. There was a series of 5 photos that was taken. And here's another thing too. If it's fake, how come there's been no more of them? If somebody's going to go to the length to make this model so good, why just put a series of 3 to 5 photos out there and that's it?
Yeah. Dorothy Metcalf says Moneymaker is the one that started calling it fake in a sculpture.
Well, there you go. um,
Never finding Bigfoot.
yeah.
But, I mean, that's my thing. I'm not going to dismiss anything until I look at it myself and I have all the information like Duke was talking about. Once I have all the information and I look at it, and then I will dismiss it or keep it at that point.
Right. Now, see,
Um,
it's like Duke says here, and if there were 5 pictures, I think there was either 5 or 7 pictures supposedly. Where are the other 3 or 4? I've only ever seen this one. I have seen. Now, this has been several years ago. I managed to find a couple of more. I don't have many more. You change phones,
mhm,
you do stuff, and one reason is because, well, everybody says it's fake. Why are you even going to talk about it? But on this platform right here, we can, without getting roasted too bad. Um,
yeah.
but that almost proves my point, Duke. If it's fake, you ought to be able to find them all over the place. And why would they only? Why did it just? They make only one series. Why this? They could have went on and on and on with this model, and why? You know, it's like they
Hmm.
say, 2 people can keep a secret if one of them's dead.
Okay, guys. As you can see, I've got a little bit of a clearer view more now of what we were looking at originally. Um, this is actually started. This back in 1995 was when all this started up. A supposed off-duty forest ranger allegedly took a series of 7, depending on where you're looking it up at. It's either 7 or 14, one of the two. And all these were bought. Photos were bought by a gentleman named Cliff Crook. Cliff Crook bought them and started trying to license the photos. And this is the only one they really licensed. There is one more that I found on one of the investigation websites that I'll bring up at a later date. But it's not much different than this, other than a little bit of a cider view, and it looks like the mouth is open. Uh, my biggest issue with this one is, and like I said before, somebody, I think it was Deborah, said that Moneymaker was the one that actually Matt Moneymaker was the one that actually screamed uh, hoax in the first place. And that was due to the fact that he was in 2010. He came back to light again, and he was actually trying to license these things to publishers for up to $9,000. Okay, so he's trying. Obviously, when you try to make a buck like that, that lends a little bit of a skeptical view to it. But and I have no love for Matt Moneymaker either. But he does not have a problem calling a spade when it comes to that. So it is what it is. But as I'm reading through and I'm looking into this thing, and then I actually looking at the picture itself, I don't know how you can look at this and just be so fixated on the size of what seems to be the size of the creature that's in this picture without looking at the vegetation at its feet. Now, anybody that's been around a creek bed for more than 5 minutes or a stagnant lake, which this doesn't even look to be like a creek, this looks to be a stagnant pond of water or puddle of some sort because that's grass right here. Those are blades of grass. You can zoom in and you can see those are blades of grass. As I look at this and I see this the way it sits here, as it sits, I'd bet it would be only about a foot tall. Now, what lends me to think that also is because the guy that bought it is how can I say it? He was a Bigfoot researcher, according to what I'm reading right here. He was a Bigfoot researcher, but he was controversial, and he is a sculptor. So it wouldn't make a whole lot of it would make a very far stretch for him to have created this. Now, like I said, Matt Moneymaker, he said that he believed it to be a hoax. Okay, I can see where that would come through. But Thinker Thunker on Facebook in October of 2021, and in an analysis video and saying, could it be? And he always asks the question, kind of the question I always ask: just because you can do it, does that mean you do? So did he do it just because he could do it? Meaning Mr. Crook, did it? Did he do it because he could, or did he do it or did he want to? Like I said, if there's 7 or 14 photos out there, why did he never come out with any of the others? This one and the one other is the only ones I've ever seen released. Now, Tex said he saw it had two or three or whatever it was, but I haven't been able to find a single one other than this one and the one on the board that I looked at, the actual forum board. Okay, so some people still are believing it's kind of like a real Bigfoot. Now, if you look at it and Thinker Thunker, when he was doing their analysis, there's a second photo of it right here where he brings it up and he look at the side. The screenshot from the video, and using his analysis, it could easily be done. You see what I'm saying? Now, to Texas' point on this, obviously, if don't you don't have anything else. I mean, if he was trying to make money off of it and that's what he wanted to do in the first place, you're never going to see any of the others unless somebody pays him for them. And from what I'm not for sure, but I do believe that he is. Let me see if I can figure out real quick. I'm going to see if I can get his bio real quick and see if he's still available or still alive. I don't know if the gentleman's still alive or not. So it's tough to say. I can't find anything on the gentleman himself other than there's a lot of people that swear that he was a hoaxer for the most part. And I another man that I read a lot and I think of as think very highly of, Lauren Coleman. Of he actually, as the story goes, off duty took 7 public domain 35 millimeter photos of a quote unquote Bigfoot. Alleged hoaxer Cliff Crook was behind small model fakery. And these have also resurfaced in, he says 2010 and 2023. So take it with the way you want. Personally, I still see it. I still see it as a fake. Only reason I say that is because when I look at that grass right there, I'm sorry. I've been around a creek too dang many times. That's not reeds. And this is not the normal. Let me back up to the other one so it's a little bit more clear. Those aren't reeds. Those are grass. And this moss That I would almost with the staining of that water maybe a foot deep, maybe, and I'm betting money that particular figure right there is probably about 1.5 to 2 foot tall max. So, personal opinion, you can chew me up, spit me out later, but that's the way I see it. I do not believe this to be real in any way, shape, or form. So, they can yell at me, but I'm doing my own on this one, and then we'll go back and we could discuss this at a later time if he wants or they won't. I don't care, but we're going tinfoil on this one. Thanks, guys. We're going to finish up the show now, and I'll get out of y'all's way. How's that?
Right. Well, with that being said,
Thank you,
till
Jamie.
next time.
Yeah.
Until next time. On Truth or Tinfoil, Randy should be back next week, and we'll be all set to go again. We'll see what Randy comes up with. So thanks, everybody, for joining us. Remember that starting as of next week, we will not be broadcasting or streaming to Texas Front Porch. You'll have to come straight to Truth or Tinfoil, and we'll see you then. Bye, everybody.
See y'all later.
Yeah, the 31st, not the 7th. 31st. Disregard the video that's out there. I'll try and get it changed out soon. Y'all come see us. We'll have fun.